Good Thursday evening to you. I'm Eric Wilhelm, and this is Weather for Weather Geeks. Here as we get set to wrap up the month of July. The final weekend of the month is coming up, and what a weekend it's going to be. Fantastic forecast for the weekend. We got plenty to talk about this evening, including a little bit of a review of where we've been in terms of precipitation over the last several weeks. Of course, we had a pretty dry stretch during a lot of June and early July, and the amount of real estate kind of designated as abnormally dry really exploded a few weeks ago, with a lot of areas in that abnormally dry category back at the beginning of July. 2 weeks ago, similar situation. We had a little bit of a reduction last week, and on today's update from the Drought Monitor, in our viewing area, it really doesn't look much different here, but in general in Northeast Ohio, Northwest PA, we've seen another reduction. Now, that being said, despite how much real estate is still covered by that abnormally dry designation, I know my yard has greened up quite a bit. I know a lot of people have had quite a bit more rain in recent times than we had earlier in the summer, leading to things looking a little bit greener than they did around the 4th of July. Here's a look at the total rain over the last 2 weeks, so taking us back through about mid-July. Some of the areas that have seen the most rain, including areas north of Interstate 80, Trumbull County, north of I-80, Mercer County. Some of the spots that have seen the least amount of rain, Youngstown on east, over towards New Wilmington, up towards Sharon, and especially just south of Sharon. Once you get down into kind of the Mahoning, Columbiana line, you're looking at close to 2 inches in most communities in through there. And we've even got a little pocket down here in southeastern Columbiana, heading down towards Steubenville, that has done a little bit better over the last couple of weeks with 2+, even 3+ inches worth of rain in some spots since mid-July. At the airport, we've missed some of the heavier rain events over the last few weeks, so we're still running a deficit for the month. The official total at the Youngstown Warren Airport in Vienna, 3.07 inches, 0.79 below average. But for the year, still a little bit of a surplus. Rain and melted snow combined, 24.69 inches, putting us 0.7 inches above the average through today's date. A little bit of a sneaky push of drier air across the region this evening. The real push is still 24 hours away, but already this evening it's not bad outside at all. Compared to 24 hours ago, the dew point is 14 degrees lower officially. So yeah, it's a nice summer evening out there. We'll have a beautiful summer evening coming up on Friday. Of course, a couple of days ago we had a tremendous rain event in St. Louis, and then we kind of warned you, or we talked about in this video, that Kentucky and West Virginia would be under the gun next, and sure enough, over the last 24 hours, we've seen a tremendous amount of rain in eastern parts of Kentucky, where a whole slew of flood warnings are out. There's some radar estimates here of double-digit rainfall totals just in the last 24 hours. To kind of get your bearings here, I'll zoom out a little bit. We're talking mostly about eastern Kentucky here into extreme southern West Virginia. Even in southwestern Kentucky, there's been a lot of rain over the last 24 hours. Thankfully for us, this has been not a problem for us. All of this has been off to the south, but still very impressive stuff. Unfortunately, we've had some fatalities with the flooding problems from St. Louis on east over the last few days. Well, speaking of interesting weather, this was a little bit unexpected this morning. There was an EF2 tornado in western New York this morning, just east of Buffalo, south of Rochester. EF2 tornado on the ground at about 10:40 a.m. This is not exactly tornado country up here in western New York, especially in the morning hours, and this was not exactly a great setup for tornadic activity, especially something above an EF0. An EF2 tornado with the kind of meteorological ingredients this morning. Boy, the atmosphere really overachieved here. So it cut a 10-mile path and maximum width about 200 yards. It's on the ground for about 15 minutes. So yeah, busy morning in western New York this morning. In the meantime, the weather across most of the region is fairly quiet this evening. We'll be watching tonight this area moving to the northeast. We'll make it grazed by a little bit of rain from it later on tonight into tomorrow morning, first thing tomorrow morning especially. So our high-res futurecast tonight, probably a little overdone around midnight or so, but I think shower chances will definitely increase some overnight. And as we get out the door on Friday morning, may not be a very good-looking morning, at least to start. Some clouds and some rain around, but we'll turn things around in a hurry in the afternoon as our cool front slides off to the east. Those dew points will drop again. Great summer evening coming our way Friday evening, and high pressure drifts around over the weekend, and yeah, no complaints over the weekend. Humidity non-story, fair amount of sunshine, and dry weather as well. Actually, a little bit below average temperature-wise on Saturday. Our average high is about 82. We'll stop at 80 on Saturday, and then a little bit above average on Sunday as we get into the mid-80s. Here comes the heat next week. We've been talking about this all week, so this graphic should come as no surprise. 7, 10, maybe even 12 degrees above average at the end of next week. And when you consider that our average high is in the lower 80s, we've got the possibility of seeing at least lower 90s. Our hottest temperature so far in 2022, 94 degrees. We've hit that twice. Do we break that at the end of next week? I don't think that's very likely. I can't rule it out. But I think 91 to 93 is a little more likely. 94, the warmest temperature we've seen in recent years. We had it a couple times this year. We had it back in 2020. We haven't had 95 or above since that very hot summer of 2012. 10 years ago, we were baking with a hot summer across the region. That's the last extremely hot summer we have had. It was 10 years ago. You could argue that we're overdue for an extremely hot summer. We've had warm summers of late, including, this summer. We've been definitely above average, but we hadn't had a memorable hot summer in a little bit of time around Northeast Ohio and Western PA. All right, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday for the latest edition of the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video.